If mean is 50, coefficient of variance is 40, skewness is given to you, find standard deviation. See, some values, maybe extra values are given to you. If mean and coefficient of variance is there, you should know, you should recall this relationship. Coefficient of variance is standard deviation into 100 divided by mean. These three terms are used in this formula, coefficient of variance. So for this problem, you can remember this one. We have to take coefficient of variance equals to standard deviation into 100 divided by mean. Now substitute both whatever values are there. Coefficient of variance value is there, standard deviation as it is into 100 divided by mean value. Mean is 50. Now what we can do, we can cancel these two. And this becomes 40 is equals to standard deviation into 2. Now this 2 and 40. Standard deviation into 2 is equals to 40. What is standard deviation? 40 divided by this 2 goes to denominator. So standard deviation will be 20. So but from given information, whatever they were asking us to find, we have to use the relationship between, if formula is there, coefficient of variance is standard deviation into 100 divided by mean is there. So we have mean, coefficient of variance. We need to find standard deviation. Extra values are also given to you. So neglect those values, ignore, and we can find the remaining thing. Karl Pearson's skewness is 0.64. Mean and mode are 82 and 50. Find standard deviation. Now you should know skewness formula. Karl Pearson's skewness equals to mean minus mode divided by standard deviation. And one more formula is there. Karl Pearson's skewness equals to 3 into mean minus median divided by standard deviation. Now we have to check. Skewness is given to us. Skewness is 0.64. Mean and mode. So first value represents mean. Second value represents mode from this one. What is given? Skewness is 0.64. Mean and mode. Now what formula we have to use? Mean, mode, skewness. They are common in this one. If mean, median is given to you, that time this formula we have to use. So first one, we have to take the formula skewness equals to, we know that skewness equals to mean minus mode divided by standard deviation. So skewness value, whatever given, this value equals to mean 82 minus mode 50 divided by standard deviation, we don't know. So this is 0.64 equals to 82 minus 50, 32 divided by standard deviation. Now by cross multiplication, if we'll cross multiply this, standard deviation into 0.64 is equals to 32. This is cross multiplied by cross multiplication. Now standard deviation equals to 32 divided by 0.64. So standard deviation will be 32 by 0.64 is 50. If we'll divide by using calculator, you will get this value. If arithmetic mean is 85, coefficient of variance is 42, skewness equals to 0.32, find median. See, whenever coefficient of variance is involved in the question, first we'll write coefficient of variance standard deviation into 100 by mean, and we'll substitute the values whatever given to us. Standard deviation is not given, into 100 divided by mean, arithmetic mean is 85. So if we'll cross multiply this one, 1 into standard deviation into 100 as it is equals to 42 into 85. So standard deviation equals to 42 into 85 divided by 100. So standard deviation value 42 into it, that is 35.7. We got standard deviations. They have not asked to find standard deviation, but by seeing coefficient of variance value, we have to write coefficient of variance formula, substitute coefficient of variance and mean in this one. Now what we have to find median. We have to check skewness and median relationship. Here skewness is there and median is there. So we have to use this formula. Skewness equals to 3 into mean minus median divided by standard deviation. So skewness value 0.32, 3 into mean we already have, minus median, we don't have median as it is, divided by standard deviation. After simplifying this coefficient of variance, we got standard deviation. Now we will cross multiply this. 0.32 into 35.7 equals to 3 into 85 minus 3 into median. This 3 is multiplied to 85, 255, and 3 is multiplied to median, 3 median. 0.32 into 35.7. If we will multiply these two, we will get 11.42 equals to 255 minus 3 median. Now 3 median comes to left side, becomes plus 3 median equals to 255 minus 11.42. So 3 median equals to 255 minus 11.42 is 243.58. So median is 243.58 divided by this 3 goes to the denominator, which is 81.1. So the thing you need to remember, when arithmetic mean, coefficient of variance, skewness is given and we have to find median. So first we will not find median. We will take coefficient of variance formula. Then we will substitute coefficient of variance value on left side. Standard deviation as it is 100, mean value. After simplifying, you will get standard deviation. Now you have to check. We have to find median and skewness. Relationship is median and skewness is there in this formula, in which mean, standard deviation, everything is there. Substitute all the values. Missing value will be found from that one. Simple question. We need to find Karl-Pearson skewness. Mean, median and standard deviation is given to us. So skewness of Karl-Pearson equals to 3 into mean minus median divided by standard deviation. One more formula is there. Mean minus mode by standard deviation. When mode value is given to us, that time mode formula. 3 into mean 160 minus median 159 divided by standard deviation 50. 169 minus 159, 1. 3 ones are 3 by 50. 3 divided by 50. You can divide this one. You will get the answer. 0.06 is the answer. So they have asked us to find Karl Pearson skewness and also find quartile coefficient of skewness. This is Bolli's skewness. Bolli's skewness is also known as quartile coefficient of skewness. Now mean, median, standard deviation is given. So first bit is Karl Pearson skewness. Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness equals to 3 into mean minus median divided by standard deviation. 3 into mean value 256.5 minus median 201.0 divided by standard deviation 215.4. While calculating this value, first subtract the values inside the bracket, then multiplied by 3. Don't multiply 3 into this minus this on calculator. First subtraction, whatever answer on your screen, multiply by 3, then divide by 215.4. And whatever answer you'll get, you can write down the answer, that is 0.772. This is skewness. Here in this one, second bit is given quartile coefficient of skewness. Quartile coefficient of skewness or Bolli's skewness equals to Q3 plus Q1 minus 2 median by Q3 minus Q1. Q3 plus Q1 minus 2 median by Q3 minus Q1. So 417 minus 402 divided by 103. So the skewness will be 0.145. This is SKB, we can say. Here Karl Pearson's skewness, SKP. Pearson's SKB, Bolli's. So what we have, when values are given to us, I am not using mean minus mode by standard deviation formula for skewness because we have Karl Pearson's two formulas as discussed in the previous problem. Out of the two, you have to select one. By seeing the values given to us, we have to select the formula. See, if Q1 is given, Q3 is given, mode is given, mean is given, we have to find skewness. See, in this one, they have not given. If Q1, Q3 is given to us, median is not given to us because Q1, Q3 plus Q1 minus 2 median is there. So median is not there. So what we can do, we can use median, mode and empirical relationship. We know that mode is equals to 3 median minus 2 mean. This formula. Mode 21 is equal to 3 into median we don't have minus 2 into mean 18. 21 equals to 3 median minus 36. This minus 36 comes here. Plus 36 equals to 3 median. Now 57 equals to 3 median. We can write 3 median equals to 57. Median equals to 57 divided by 3. So median equals to 57 by 3 is 19. We got median answer, but they are asking us skewness. Because they have not mentioned Karl Pearson's or any skewness, we can use Bolli's skewness because we have the formula Q3 plus Q1 minus 2 median by Q3 minus Q1. Here Q3 25 plus Q1 18 minus 2 into median was not there. That's why we have used this relationship as we have done in the previous problems. 19 by Q3 minus Q1. 25 minus 18. Now 25 43 minus 36 divided by 7. So if you can calculate this one, you will get the value 38 by 7. So this is 0.7 you will get. Now few formulas you can remember. Probable error, P dot capital whenever probable error we are finding, you can use this one. Probable error equals 0.6745 into 1 minus r square divided by root n. First formula. Then second one, limits of r. Limits of r equals to r minus probable error, comma, r plus probable error under closed intervals, square brackets. Then we have if r value is greater than 6 times of probable error, then we can say that r is significant. If r value is less than 6 times of probable error, then we can say that r is non-significant or not significant. Now we'll have formulas based on those points. First one, if r is equals to 0.9, n is equals to 10, find probable error and determine limits of r. First thing, r is given, n is given, probable error we need to find. P equals to probable error equals to 0.6745 is formula value, 1 minus r square divided by root of n. 0.6745 into 1 minus 0.9 whole square divided by a root value, root of 10. So 0.6745 into 1 minus 0.81 divided by root 10. Root 10 value we will write now. 2.3 point some value you will get anyhow. If you simplify this one, calculated value I will get, just wait. So if you calculate this one, 1 minus 0.81 you can calculate, you will get 0.04 value for probable error. Now I will write limits of R. Limits of R is equals to formula R minus probable error. Here we have limits of R, comma R plus probable error. So R minus, R is 0.9 minus 0.04, comma 0.9 plus 0.04. You can use calculator to add or to subtract. This is after subtracting 0.9, 0.04, 81, 14, 6, 8, 0.86, comma 0.94. So this is the value of limits of R. How to find probable error? 0.6745 into 1 minus R square by root n. Substitute R and n value, you will get the value of probable error. Then you can simplify this. If R is equals to 0.6, n is equals to 4, can the correlation R value be regarded as significant? Once they are asking significant question, you have to check R is significant when R is greater than 6 into probable error. We don't find probable error here. We have to find probable error that equals to 0.6745 into 1 minus R square divided by root n. 0.6745 into 1 minus R square. R is 0.6 whole square divided by root 4, which is 2. So if we'll simplify, you'll get probable error equals to 0.2158. This is probable error answer. Once we have probable error, calculate this one, you'll get the answer. Then we have to check whether R is significant or not. First we have to, for significance, we have to consider 6 times of P, 6 into P probable error. That is 6 into 0.2158. So how much you'll get? 6 8s are 48, 34, 9, 1.948. This is 6 times of P. Then R value will be 0.6. Now we have to check 6 point P is 1.2, R is 0.6. So R value is less than 6 times of probable error. If such case is there, R is non-significant. Okay. If n is equals to 5, probable error is 0.0236. Find coefficient of correlation. That means n is given to us, probable error is given to us 0.0236. We need to find coefficient of correlation, R value. So three terms combination we have, no, probable error equals to 0.6745 into 1 minus R square by root n. So probable error 0.0236 equals to 0.6745 into 1 minus R square, we don't know, divided by root 5. Now we have to cross multiply this 0.0236 into root 5 value. Root 5 is 2.1 equals to, okay, first we'll write. By cross multiplication, this value comes here. 0.0236 into 2.1, 0.6745 into 1 minus R square. Now we have this value, we can take here 0.0236 into 2.1 divided by 0.6745 equals to 1 minus R square. Now if we'll calculate this, we have to use calculator for this one. Zero two three six into 2.1 divided by 0.674. This calculation is 0.0734 equals to 1 minus R square. So R square equals to 1 minus 0.0734. R equals to root over 1 minus 0.0734. You can calculate this one. I don't have calculator to do this one. You can calculate these calculations. Okay. So these are the things. If you are good at these questions, you can easily score 5 4 marks question from this one. Apart from this, you will get 1 or 2 theory questions which I'll explain you before exams. So till here, on leaving theory part, everything is over.